What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and how it performs in September. I'm assuming, because it's the very beginning of the month, we're literally not even 4 hours into the new month right now of September. I'm assuming there are going to be a lot of people on YouTube, on X, on whatever platform, talking about how bad September is historically for Bitcoin, how it's one of the worst months, how it's always red. It's not always red, by the way. And I'm going to go over why that's a bit misleading. Why if you actually look at the charts and the data that's presented to us, you can easily construe that September is actually not that big of a deal when it comes to being red. You'll see the truth in what people are saying, but you'll see where it's misguided, okay? And then that's what we're going to go over in this video. I made a video like this last year in September. I want to make videos like this at the beginning of every month. I genuinely forget, but I mean to make them. But if this sounds good to you, if you're ready to do this, let's get started. What we're going to do, I was going to say hit the like button. Sorry, hit the like button and subscribe. Is we're going to count. I've got a tally here of every green September, every red September, and I'm throwing another one in there. If they're not green, if they're not red, what are they? They are neutral, right? A neutral month, like something like that. Or like this, where yes, you moved down a lot, but then you came back up. It's a green month, but I don't think that's fair to say that this month was good, right? It was actually pretty bad, and then it came out closing neutral. We're going to have green months, red months, and neutral months that we're counting, okay? I'm going to keep it just like that, from the very first to the very last, most recent September. So very earliest month that we have on this chart is October of 2009. We were one month off. Don't have it. So 2010 is the next period to go to. September here, it's a red month, but if you look at the percentage up here, it actually says plus 3%. So it had a gap on this month. It opened up higher than the previous month closed, and then it moved down from where this month opened, but it still closed higher than that month did. So it's a green month. It's a red month disguised as a green, or it's a green month disguised as a red month, actually. But I did say neutral was another thing that I was going to assess, and that appears from a closing perspective to be a very neutral month. We will define neutral as anything that's less than 10%. For Bitcoin to not move decidedly up or down 10% from an open to closing perspective on a month-to-month basis, I think that's fair to say that it's neutral, right? Especially when you see this compared to this month here, it's 210%. 2 months prior to that, it was 1100%. I think asking for anything less than 10% to be defined as neutral, I think that's fair. I think that's pretty fair. So we're going to count this as a neutral month. It's a red month, but a neutral month. I'll keep track that it's red and green, but neutral. Okay, so neutral. The next one was 2011, September, red. 37% to the downside, absolutely red. So one neutral, one red. 2012 is the next one, and that one was up 22%. So one neutral, one red, one green is what we've got so far. 2013, that one would be, hold on here, sorry. That one is not green, sorry. Neutral, another neutral one, because that's 0.6%. I think that's as fair as it gets for neutral. 19% to the downside, absolutely red there. 2015 is the next one, and we've got 2% to the upside, so that's a neutral month there. 2016 is the next one, and another neutral month right there. Green but neutral. 2017, red but neutral, only 8%, right? 2018, because people just look at it in terms of red and green. 6% to the downside, another neutral month. And there are more red ones than there are green ones. I think already we've established that, right? But if you think outside the box a little bit, 13%. Pretty neutral for Bitcoin, but does not meet our parameters, so we'll count it. Let's be fair. Let's be technical. It's technical analysis. That's a red month right there, baby. 2019, 2020. I forgot what I was saying before that. That's a neutral month, 7.5%. But all in all, I think neutral months, back in the day, whenever I started doing technical analysis, TradingView, if you closed, and you'd have to be literally neutral, but if you closed a candle at 0%, it would actually make it blue. Or at least it made the the percentages blue. I don't know if it made the candle blue, but it made the percentage blue. Now it just makes it gray. But I think there should be. I think there should be red, green, and gray or blue or whatever color to signify neutral. It's something we don't think about, right? It's like one way or another, but green could be this, or it could be this, right? Red could be this, or it could be this, right? And this, they're absolutely different moves. So I think they should be counted as such. Where were we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm 11 in from 2010. I mean, we're at 2021 for the next September, right? So 2021, red, 7% to the downside. I think that's accurate, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because the last one was 7.5. That's right. So 2022, we should have 14 when it's all said and done. So I'll just count that. Another neutral month. Who would have guessed? Another neutral month, and then 2023, our last cycle, or actually last September. Current cycle, last September, 4%. So another neutral month. Okay, so, and I have 14 here. So what I've got, the data that I have presented in front of me, is that we have one green month where Bitcoin closed higher than 10% in a green fashion. 3 red months where Bitcoin closed lower than 10% from an open to a closed perspective on a monthly basis, and 10 neutral months out of 14 months, 14 Septembers of Bitcoin's existence. 10 of them have closed 10% or less to the upside or the downside direction. And if that's not good enough for you, if you don't like that and you're like, but how many of them were technically red? How many of them were technically green? I kept track of that as well. Technically, 6 out of the 14 were green. Technically, 8 out of, well, obviously, right? If six were green, then eight would be the logical number there. 8 were red. So yes, statistically speaking, you are more likely to get a red September, but don't be misled. Don't let the media, the crypto YouTubers, people like me, don't let us psych you out and be like, September's going to be a bloodbath. Statistically speaking, Septembers have actually always been red. And it's not even the case. It's actually 8 to 6. It's really not that bad at all. It's almost a flip of a coin, really, right? Like it's not. For green this month, it's really close to 50%. And the people that have been saying September is bad for the last 2 years will have to go off of new data. But it's relatively new, right? 14 iterations, it's enough, it's nice, but it's not a lot of iterations, right? So this is still, anything can happen, right? Random things can happen. But out of this 14 iterations we have, undeniably, 10 of them out of 14, that's pretty big, right? 8 out of 14, okay. That's the majority. 6 out of 14, okay, that's significant, but it's not the majority. 10 out of 14, that's pretty significant. 10 out of 14 Septembers have been neutral. So that is my call, that is my prediction, and I think it'll be wrong. I actually think we might see the second time in Bitcoin's history that we have a green September that closes greater than 10%. That's my emotion, that's my opinion. That's not based in facts on the chart, right? Statistically speaking, we've only had 1 out of 14. That's less likely to happen. But I do think we're going to have a green September, not a neutral September, a green September. But based off the data, the call that I'm going to make based off the data, not off of my opinions, not off of my emotions, is that I would expect September to be neutral. Upside or downside, who cares? I'm going to guess green. I'm going to guess green, not based off my emotion, green neutral month, based off of the fact that everybody's expecting it to be red. That's why. That's why, because everyone's expecting it to be a red September. So I bet we open up the month red. Wouldn't it be fun if we opened it up green actually, and then came down and still closed it green? But I bet we come down a little bit to start the month, and then we finish off the month green. That's my expectations, and probably neutral going off the statistics here. Now here's something else I want to do before we wrap up the video for this September analysis. Okay, I want to look at how many green months in a row we've seen, even the neutral ones, and how many red ones we've seen in a row, even the neutral ones. This is where the neutral will get kind of taken out of place. Okay, so we've seen red. Here we had 1, or actually that was a green one, right? Green, 2011 is the next one. That was a red, right? So 1 to 1, 2012, the green, right? So no streaks so far. We're trying to develop a streak and the longevity of these streaks. Green ones, so that was 2 green ones, right? Back to back. So we've seen 2 green ones before. And then 2013 was red. I remember 2013. I don't remember because, oh, it's 2014. 2013 was actually green. 2014 was red. So 2015 was green. So far we have a 2 streak for the greens, just a 1 streak for the reds. September in 2016, I think, was red. No, it was green. 2 streak again for the green. All right, nice to see. 2017 was red. So two being the largest streak for greens so far. 2018 is red again. Now we've got 2 and 2 tied up there. July, August, September. 3 for reds there, right? 3 red months in a row. That was 2019. 2020, 4 red ones in a row. 2021, I hope I didn't skip any. 5, is that right? Hold on, let me just go back. 2000, so if it's 2021, that would be 2017, right? Would be 5 in a row. Because 2016 was green, 2017 was red, 2018 was red, 2019 was red, 2020 was red, and 2021. So that's 5 in a row. Red Septembers that we've seen. Okay. So 5 to 2. Red's definitely got the larger streak. 2022 was red as well, right? 6 red Septembers in a row. Wow. That's crazy. I get where all the people who've been doing long-term analysis might be scared of September, right? But it's 6 red ones based off color, right? But if you're colorblind, if you don't see in color, you really see that we're all the same. It's just 10 neutral months, really. But no, 58.5K right now is what we're at. We've had 1 green September in a row. The largest we've seen is 2, so I think that stands. I think that fits the qualification for my estimate there, right? That's all I was trying to get to, is if we've seen a green September before, have we seen a streak? Does that happen? And being that we were just on a very long streak of red Septembers, maybe it's still ingrained that Septembers are red, and I think it is still ingrained. If you check out YouTube, if you check out x.com, people are all talking about how September is going to be red, but they're not looking at the data for what it is. They're fitting it in a very niche box, right? A very, very tight parametered box. And if we're not doing that, if we're looking at it a little bit more broadly, I think the data would suggest that not only will this month not be a bloodbath, right, but it'll be what I've been saying this whole time. I think it'll just be neutral. It'll be a very neutral month. I don't think we'll see a lower price than that. And I do expect this month will close green. And I actually am more confident now than I was before that this month could not only close green, neutral green, but like above 10% green. Like, I think this could be this might be the second time in Bitcoin's whole history that we see a green September that is greater than 10%. That is greater than 10%. I just wonder real quick from the opening price to the low. So, I mean, I don't think we'll go, we're probably not going to break through 53K. A 10% gain from the open would then imply we'd have to break 65K. We just got to hit 65. That's it, baby. That's it. So let's close above 65K by the end of this month. That'd be great. All in all, though, that again, that's my opinions, that's my hopes, that's my emotions. I feel like my gut is telling me that will be above 70K by the end of this month. That would be my gut call. My call based off the statistics would say we're still going to be below 65K. Maybe we go above there. Maybe we even go below 53K by the end of this month, at various points, but we would close above 53K, close below 65K, somewhere in that range. And statistically speaking, it would make sense if it was a slightly green September. So if not, a slightly red September. But yeah, those are my two calls, right? One based off of gut feeling, just kind of like feeling it, which I don't normally do. And then I guess I always do, but I don't normally acknowledge. And then the statistically backed one, which is the one that I normally do acknowledge, but I'm contesting it a little bit this time, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe, get the message out there. Let the people know that September is not that bad. You don't have to wake me up when September ends. Wake me up now. It's going to be fine. Actually, it's probably going to be boring. Go to sleep. Wake me up when September ends. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Thank you all for being here. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.